Trudi with Panhandle Power Wash Supply, and I'm here with Anthony. We're doing our weekly talk, and we have Jonathan Crumpton here today with us to talk. I'm going to let Anthony talk more than me this week because I got to rest my voice. So go ahead, Anthony. Jonathan, go ahead while I get this out there.
Now let's just jump on here and let's give a shout out to everybody. It's good to see Trudi back up on her feet and everything, but we got the man himself from RedLine ProClean. I'll get it out in a minute. Jonathan Crumpton on here with us tonight. He's just going to talk to us about his company, about where he started, how he got started, and his goals for 2025 over what they was in 2024. It's an honor and a privilege to call him my friend. I don't know if I'd say that I'm one of his mentors or a guy he looks up to, but I call him about as much as he calls me. Just a privilege to have somebody in your back pocket that you can always call on if you need them. But anyway, I'm gonna quit talking and let Jonathan talk and give him his.
What'd you say, Trudi?
I said, does he call you in the shower too?
No.
Yes. Okay. Yes, he does. Don't let him fool you.
Okay, yeah. It's usually FaceTime. It's him every damn time. I'm like, do you have a camera in my house? You know, I'm going from that room.
No, he shows me his bath bombs that he uses every night.
Oh, that's sweet.
But anyway, well, a minute and 40 seconds in here, and they just roasted me, telling secrets that they don't need to be telling on Facebook.
Yep.
But anyway, Jonathan, man, it's good to see you, bro.
Good to see you.
It's always good to have you around, and like I said, man, you're a good friend to me, and glad I can call on you when we need you. Everything. So just jump on here, tell the people about yourself, what you do, what you clean, and we'll just go from there.
All right. Well, as y'all know, my name's Jonathan. I'm the owner of RedLine ProClean and Subflow Soft Wash. I've been in the washing game, licensed and insured about 7 years now. Been a full-time fireman for right about the same time, about 7 years.
With me. Sorry.
No, you're good.
Don't worry about me. I'm fine.
But yeah, been firefighting about the same time I've been washing. I started actually washing when I was 15, I believe. Did a little home service business when I was in school, and then stopped it, and then started it back up a couple years after I started working for the fire department. And it's been an awesome journey. It's been great. We've made a lot of good relationships with commercial and residential clients. And 2025, we're looking at expanding our commercial coverage statewide. We're doing different stuff with window cleaning. We're going to start opening up high-rise window cleaning. Just got a lot of stuff in the plan right now.
So you're truly actually probably one of the young guns in our industry. So you're what, 27?
25.
25?
Lord,
what a baby. What a baby. Man, look at all that water coming out behind his ears.
I know it.
No, but so you started your pressure washing business first. And you done it for what, 7 years? You bought the window cleaning company last year, correct?
Yeah, started it. It was what was that? It was JC Services was the first pressure washing company I made when I was 15, and I ran it all the way until I was 18, and then ended up stopping with it through going through training, recruit school, and all that, and then I just kind of left it alone, and then I picked it up about 2 years after I started working full time, and then picked it back up. And then surprisingly enough, I've still got, I believe, 70% of my clientele from when I was 15 too. So that was kind of cool to take them into another business. And then here about 9 months ago, I bought a window cleaning company here in Northwest Alabama, and it's got I think 38 reoccurring monthly window cleaning clients, and it's been really good. We've got contracts with different banks through Alabama and stuff that we service monthly and quarterly, and so it's been a really good thing for both my guys. And I hired two guys I want to say about 8 months ago to work full time. One of them's works for the fire department in Athens, and then one's a police officer. And so kind of keeping the brand kind of close to people that are in first response jobs and stuff like that.
That's a good thing. I appreciate all y'all service and everything. So if somebody come to you and asked you, let's say, man, I'm thinking about getting into the business, what would be your go-to to tell them?
First thing would be don't start too big too quick is my advice. Figure out first if you're going to make it in the industry, because some people are really good business, entrepreneurs and stuff like that, but some people aren't just cut out for this. I just say line of work.
Right.
Nobody wants to be pressure washing and window cleaning in 15-degree weather on a Saturday. So it really just depends on how bad you want it. But I still don't think that the market's too saturated for new people to come in and learn and build their business to whether they want to do it full time and support their families or they want to have a little side gig. But I would say definitely start outreaching and do, I call it free marketing, but get out, door knock businesses, door knock homes, get some money, get your equipment, and go from there. Baby steps.
Yeah, that's what I'd say too. But we're we didn't have mom and daddy's money.
I didn't have
No.
no mom and daddy.
Us two. I mean, we literally started out with nothing. I'm talking 5-gallon minute units, got the wheels on them. You roll them around everywhere you want them. 100-foot hose, turbo nozzle, all that stuff. Roll your hose reels up by hand, throw them on the truck or on the trailer.
Hey, I tell you, my first machine was a 390 4-gallon a minute that I had found on Marketplace, I think, and I think I gave like $200 or $300 for it, and that thing. It didn't run as good as, obviously it didn't. Now I'm so spoilt by different stuff on my rig now that there's no way I would go back. But I'm thinking back. There was a house that when I first started, there was a job in Fayetteville, Tennessee, and this was whenever I was living close to Anthony, and I drove all the way out there, paid some help, bought bleach by the 5-gallon bucket, and after paying my help and everything, I come out with negative $30. And that happened a good bit. But now that's just basically that negative $30. I saw it as breaking even because I got before and afters to be able to start a foundation with. So.
Let me
Hello, John Trudi.
Let me give a shout out to people that are here. We got Brad Laney and Alex Krause, Jeremiah Juke, Tyler Hamilton, John Tornabani, Shannon Roser, Wiz Pressure Cleaning, Derek Goncalo, Justin Wood. It's all watching. So hey guys, thank you for being on tonight. We got 14 people watching us. So if I missed your name, I'm sorry. But yeah, we started out with a 4-gallon in the back of an SUV. Shane's mom's SUV because he had a Maxima, so it wouldn't work. So he borrowed a car just to do that part time, and then, after the economy took a dump and we both kind of lost our jobs, we went full time with the pressure washing. So that's where you start, and you start small and you reinvest in your equipment. And I've seen a lot of guys that buy big and they can't stand it. The chemical reaction, they don't like it. They thought it was easy, just go, splash and dash and you're done. They'll collect the money, but there's a lot of variables to to this industry, and a lot of chemicals. You got to know your chemicals. You got to know what chemicals to use on the stains. There's a lot of things that you have to deal with on a daily basis, and it's not. I mean, we love those easy days where we get 6 vinyl houses and we just spray and go. We love those. But that's not reality in the industry.
Nope. So to the window cleaning, it's part of your business. We was talking today earlier on the phone.
Right.
You said water-fed poles over squeegees if you could get by with it. Compare the difference between the two. I understand a water-fed pole is going to feed the water up to a 2-story window instead of you're sitting there with a squeegee trying to squeegee it from the ground on an extension pole. But just kind of touch on that, and then we'll ease back into the pressure washing because, that's some people may need to know what to look for if they're wanting to jump into extra marketing in their business and add an extra income to it.
Right. For starters, I think if whoever's listening right now, if y'all are in primarily pressure washing services, you don't have to go waist deep into window cleaning, but it is definitely it sets yourself apart from so I'm going back to we washed a courthouse probably about 7 months ago, and the deciding factor was between me and another pressure washing company. But considering that I had window cleaning as an added service, that's what got me the bid. So even though mine was a little bit more than his, but it was just because of that added service that he didn't offer. So touching back to like people that are primarily pressure washing, you don't have to go and get all the fancy soaps and squeegees and all of that. But if you're not planning on doing window cleaning as a primary, just a simple DI tank that you can get off of the I think it's the window cleaning resources who I use. But just a simple DI tank, some 1/4-inch line, and a water-fed pole. It's definitely a way you can upsell stuff, make more money. It's not hard. I mean, you can add it easily to a rig, make a couple $100 extra on a residential job or a commercial job. So I think it's a good thing all around.
Even
do what?
Buddy Barry's jumped on here with us.
Heck yeah.
Next level pressure washing's on here. He said, hey. And then we got Jason Barfield, and of course Barry Little's on here. Hey, Barry. So, hey, everybody. Thank you for watching. We're just kind of chatting today. I'm letting them do most of the talking because my voice is still not back. My throat's still not back to where it should be. But, you can't keep me from working. So this is the least amount of damage I can do to my body is go live. So I think I'll just do that until I can get back out there. So this is my work right now. This and marketing on Facebook. So anyways, so pressure washing and window cleaning, is that all you do? Do you do Christmas lights? Do you do ceiling, staining, any of that?
So we touch a little bit on the staining and sealing side. We did a log cabin back about 3 months ago. We did a full log cabin, porch, the whole nine. That's kind of just a rare specialty service that we do. Mostly it's just the window cleaning and pressure washing. We started out doing the Christmas lights for about a year or two. It's really just gotten to where if we have a bulk order of people, then we'll do it. If not, then we don't tend to fool with it because we're so busy on the washing season, even through the winter.
I know it's cold out there. Last night we was out there washing in Athens, a McDonald's, and the water was freezing. The runoff water was freezing, running off the parking lot. The guys was out there; they were slipping and sliding all over the place.
We was out doing a window cleaning job on one of these banks, and we're on the 4th story. And I'm telling you what, like by the time we mopped a couple windows, when we got back to the first one, they were already chipping away. They were already iced over on the window. It was not a fun day. And then the next day I had forgot to bring in everything inside, and so I pull out my mop, and it's just a big old block of ice.
Oh, no.
So I had to beat it against the tailgate just to start my first job. But
Oh, man. They're calling for snow here. We might get snow in Florida.
it's
That
supposed
is
to get bad. It's supposed to get bad. The highs are supposed to be in the 20s the rest of this month or next
Yeah, we're
week.
supposed to get down below 30. I don't know. This is not Florida weather. Y'all can take that stuff
No.
back. I don't want it here. I'm stuck in the house anyway, so I don't know why I'm complaining. But yeah, the weatherman said it's supposed to we have a chance of snow.
Yeah, it's supposed to be like in the teens and negative here next week.
I'm not looking forward to it at all.
I ain't neither. I'm staying inside, bro.
Hey, next week we're going to Gatlinburg to go and do some marketing on some different cabins and stuff and different hotels down in Gatlinburg. And it's gonna be cold over there.
On
Yeah.
next Thursday, we've got 24 for the low.
At your house?
Yeah. In
What you
Florida.
gonna do?
I'm stuck in the house. I'm not going to do anything, but I'm just saying it's going to be cold. I don't like it. We're not used to this stuff. I put a heater for my chickens. I can't do it, but I have my son do it. I got to get the heat lamp. We're going to have to winterize all our
Hey, I got a heater for them chickens right over here in my oven.
You hush.
Like some,
Hey, I tell you, the freeze done got to my equipment too. I left it out one day not thinking it was going to be cold, and it cracked the pump on my P40.
Oh no!
I waited for it to thaw out because I was just like, okay, if it slowly thaws out, I'll be all right. And I fired it up, and it shot right out of the block. So
Oh no!
I might be putting an order into you, Trudy, for a P40 pump pretty soon.
We got them. Yeah,
we did that.
Yeah, we're going to have to winterize ours because we're not used to this. This is weird. We are not. Usually our winters are like 50s, 45 maybe, but we've been in the 30s and now we're getting in 24. Gosh, I feel like I'm back in Oregon.
Yeah, we emptied our water tank last night before we took out. Coming back home and turned the pumps on and got some of the water out of them so they wouldn't freeze going down the road. It was bad.
Nuts.
But it's sitting inside the shop now and got heaters on it.
So Anthony, what are you doing different for 2025?
Trying to make more money. Expand.
Well, besides that.
I don't know. Thought about getting into some hood cleaning and been talking to the managers and stuff at these McDonald's we do, and they said that people come in there and they don't even plastic and tape off and let it run down in a can. They just let it run down in the floor and makes a mess in the floor and they leave it.
Hey, let me know if you plan on doing that. I got 5 clients for you because I turned them down. They're in Coleman. I don't want to touch hood vent cleaning.
No, we tried that when we first started out. We did 2 and said, forget that crap.
Yeah,
really?
I did 1, and I about caused a whole hazmat scene in that restaurant.
Mm-hmm.
I had done put up the tarps and I had it rigged out to a trash can, and the tarps kept on falling down to catch all the. It wasn't fun.
You reading this, Anthony? Very little's talking crap on here about you guys.
Yeah, he's from up around Florence. He's closer to Jonathan than he is me. But
hey, Barry was telling me that you was going to sell your company, work for RedLine, and sell plants with him.
Yeah, I'm gonna sell his weed for him. That's what he's doing. He's in Florida selling weed right now.
The truth comes out.
That's what he does. He stays up here when it's warm. He called me earlier today and he said he was thought about coming home next week. I said, well, if you're afraid of the cold, you better stay your butt in Florida because it's going to be freezing negative degrees down here. So if he's down in Orlando, I think, where he's at. Said he's thinking about going to Miami next week to the plant show. So we'll be interested to see what kind of plants he comes back with.
Shannon's got a question.
You want to
Who?
read that question from Shannon and see if you guys can answer?
How does a fixed rate injector?
Fixed rate injector work with injector by bypass the check valve that goes on your downstream injector.
Oh, she's talking about that the difference between the fixed rate injector, like the one that you normally get, like your GP injectors or whatever, and then I'm guessing doing the manual bypass and then adding the injector to it.
Yeah, the check
I don't
valve.
like the ones that you can adjust. I think they're garbage.
Yeah, I won't use one that's
Adjustable?
adjustable.
Yeah, I don't like the adjustable. And
My whole
Tony,
thing is you're only limited. I mean, either way with downstreaming as it is, if you're house washing whatever, you want the max you can get. So I would definitely get a fixed rate.
yeah,
Yep.
I,
Fixed
I
rate.
bought that. I bought that one check valve from you, Trudy, and I really like it. I think I went up about 1%.
yeah, no, that's a good one. That's a good one. And also, you always I run a 9 gallon a minute machine. Not anymore, but now, I did. And we used a 2.1. So we went down a size in our injector because it had more pull to pull more chems.
Right.
So it
So
gives you
she's
a little
got a
bit more.
5.5. So she's going to need a 2.
I'd say a 1.8 if she's running a 5 gallon a minute.
It's a he.
That's
Shannon's a he.
That right? True. That'd be a Trudy question there.
What was the question?
5.5 gallon.
The
personally, I
2.1
run
is
1.8.
2.1 to 3 to 5, so I would drop to a 1.8.
So that's another thing. So we've got a different supplier over here in Huntsville, and Anthony, you know who I'm going to be talking about, the engineering maintenance services.
Mm-hmm.
Man, he argued with me until he was blue in the face. He would not let me buy it. Because he asked what size machine I said an 8, and I said I want a 2.1 injector, and he was like, no, you need a 2.3, and I was like, no, you get a hotter mix off 2.1, and he's like, no, and we argued for probably 5 minutes, and I'm like, can I just say I've got a 5 gallon a minute so I can get your so I can get the two?
Some people, I mean,
Antonio Curry's watching. He said, hey, Chris Berkner, Caden Williams, Marty Howard, and Luis Rodriguez is watching. Hey, guys.
but see, the thing about that is, Jonathan, he's a salesman. He's not a washer.
Right. He's not. Yeah, exactly.
What that
See,
paper says and what it actually will do, yeah, you're going to pull with what he said, but you're going to also pull with what you said because you're out there in the field and that's what you have on your machine.
I've even tested it out, and I've ran a 1.8 on an 8 gallon, and it pulls. I would say just as hot, or not a little hotter than a 2.1.
So Marty said he argues with everyone.
He's up in that. Marty's up in the area too. He's in my area, so me and him regularly visit that engineer maintenance place.
So I'm glad you brought that up because there are a lot of stores that sell pressure washing stuff, but a lot of them don't know the industry inside and out. They haven't been out in the field. They don't know what's worked. They haven't tested it. They haven't used it.
Right.
So, I always tell people when they ask where can I buy my stuff from, I always tell them try and buy local if you can, but ask the questions because they're just going to sell you stuff.
Yeah.
They're going to sell you stuff and that they think you need when it's stuff you probably are never going to use. So, make sure that if you go buy some, tell them what you're doing, what you're washing, if you're commercial, what you have, what you like to use. And if they have no idea, like I love when I go to Home Depot and I'm trying to find a part for my husband and I'm saying, hey, I need this. And they're all on their phones because they don't know what the heck it is. And I'm like, this is your department. Why don't you know?
Right.
And it frustrates me. You need to have somebody that knows and can answer questions, how it works. This chemical, what does it do? How do you use it? They should know this because they're selling it and to teach you how to use it. And then they can give you support afterwards. So I'm glad you brought that up. Let me see. Charles Kennedy said hi. Marty Howard said I invited him to go wash with me. And then Antonio Curry said, "Where do you buy?" ? And he said, "Panhandle Duck." All right, and Shannon said, "Thank you. He appreciates the answer." So anyway, so when do you call it with the weather? I mean, we're not set up for 30 and 29. We're not set up. We have heated machines. We go out, but it's we
It's
don't have to
20.
close it. We don't have
It's
to
28,
close.
27 degrees down here, and we're out washing. I mean, you got
Yeah.
clients like McDonald's. They don't care. They got inspections coming up today. We had to go last night and clean the store. I mean, they don't care. They don't care if it's 20 below zero.
Yeah.
That's got to be clean.
Yeah.
I mean,
My
you just
thing
gotta-
is the banks don't care if it's 20 below either. Them bills are still coming out at the end of the month too. So I mean, we've been out washing in 20, 17, 15 degree weather.
The thing is, like when we were in Cheyenne, Wyoming, that's what Shane said was we spent time up there, and it would be 32 degrees, and I could wear a light jacket and be fine. Then you come down here, and it's 50 degrees, and you've got to wear 4 layers because you're freezing just because of the moisture. So I think Barry's leaving. Bye, Barry.
See you, Barry.
Anyway, so it's way different. We've got so much moisture down here because we've got the Gulf, and then we've got the bay, and we're working around all that water.
Yeah.
And it's a different cold. Like I was raised in Oregon, I could stand and wait for the bus, when it was snowing or icy. I mean, you go out here. I mean, I'd bundle up at 50 because it's so cold. It's just a different.
You ain't one of them, Trudy. You ain't one of them person that walked 10 miles to school in the snow up to your ass.
No, I sure didn't.
You ain't that old, are you?
I'm not that old.
Yeah, I mean, there's people on here saying I wouldn't wash below freezing because if it freezes over and somebody slips and falls, you're responsible for it.
Do you guys use heat? You got the heated machines?
It really wouldn't matter. I always heard hot water freezes faster than cold water.
It does, but it heats up the chlorine when you got to use it.
Yeah.
Because chlorine goes dormant.
I personally I don't run heated machines just from the fact that we're not like what Anthony does. We're not doing restaurants, and we do some restaurants, but we're not like, I just can't, we just can't justify it right now. If we were doing, 30, 40 gas stations a month or, whatever, then I could justify it. But considering we're doing all, just mainly just buildings and concrete.
Well, I do all them gas stations. I don't do in restaurants. I ain't got a heat. What I do, but I ain't never had cranked it up. I bought it from Panhandle. It's been on my truck for a year and a half now.
I think it's good to have, but I do think it's overrated to a certain extent.
I mean, I just mix up my caustic and mix it hot. Makes it hotter than hell.
We've got our 2 truck skids that don't have heat, and then the work trailer, the chemical. Sorry, I'm on drugs. The commercial trailer does have heat. Hey, they're prescribed. It's good. So we've got Marty. Nope, sorry, not Marty. So who's joining us now? Romero's joining us, and Jeremy Hussey, and we already said Marty. So Romero, Teresa. I hope I said that right. And Jeremy Hussey is watching. So welcome, guys. We're just chatting here. If you guys have any questions, just ask them, and we'll try to answer them. And Shannon Roser's leaving. Bye, Shannon. So yeah, we're just talking pressure washing and talking about the cold and how long the winter's
my doggies are wanting in there at the door barking at me.
You got more than one doggie?
Yeah, my mom-in-law's dog.
Oh, okay. I'm sending Zeus treats. I didn't know you had another one. I don't want to leave him out. So Marty Howard said 60-ounce caustic ?
That's what I use.
Okay.
I use 60 ounces per 5. I think he's saying 60 ounces per 5-gallon bucket. That's generally what I use if we're doing restaurant or whatever.
Gotcha. Michael Shane Lowe's watching. Hey, Michael. Marty said, Anthony, how hot are you running caustic?
I've had it so hot that I had a Schedule 40 PVC pipe that I stirred it up with, and it melted it.
Heck yeah.
So, I mean, I got them like them Chinese containers that you get your soups in. That's about like that, the big ones.
Yeah.
And I got 2 of them in 5 gallons. I mean,
Hey, another thing I started storing them. If we know we're fixing to be using a good bit, I just go ahead and pre-fill them into little Ziploc bags, just dry, and that way it's just you already measured it out, so it's just you ain't having to sit there and get that 50-pound bag and sit there and try to pour it into a bucket.
no, we got them containers we keep it in. We just take 3 or 4 of them with us every time we go out. Try to keep about 4 of them on the truck. Got that and potassium hydroxide. We mix about half a bottle of potassium hydroxide in there, and some kind of soap.
All right, we got Kobe Fisher Washing and Lee Robertson. Hey guys, yes, Michael, I am staying as comfortable as I can with this contraption on my neck. Marty Howard said I have a few caustic scars.
Oh, I'm surprised I don't. I had a hose blow off one day, and I was at home. Luckily, I was at home, and I was transferring from bucket or from a tank onto the truck or the trailer, whatever I had at the time. I was standing over the pump. The hose blew or come off the pump or something, and it hit me right between the legs.
Oh.
So I was stripping, running in the house, and the boys were like, "What the hell is going on?" And so I just
Shane did that. His hose pulled off its soft wash system, right where it plugs in, went all down his pants. He stripped down his underwear and he jumped in the pool. Thank God there was a pool at the house he was washing. So he's in there just soaking in their pool. I'm like, I hope they weren't home. That would have been hilarious. They get on their Ring camera. That'd be funny.
Oh, that would be awesome.
Okay, so we have a question. Charles Kennedy said, I want to go to the commercial side. Where would you target first as a rookie?
No, do what? What would you start on the commercial side?
Where, as a rookie, where would you start at trying to get commercial work?
If you're looking for restaurants, you can go in and talk to the managers, but you need to find out what company actually owns that brand, because they're like individually owned. One company may own 10 McDonald's or 10 Burger Kings in your area, and another person may own the other 10 or 15 or whatever. You got to find out who them people are. You got to get in their door.
Right.
Because the way I got my McDonald's was I went by the McDonald's in our local area when we lived in Arab. Every time I went by there, I was leaving cards, information, everything. It took year and a half probably. And then I got that text message one morning and went and talked to the lady, and she said, we're not satisfied with them. They're doing stuff they ain't supposed to be doing on our property. And we need it taken care of. And I said, got you. So that started there. And then I moved on up north, Alabama a little ways, and same thing. And finally one of the managers said, she said, I can't approve nothing like this. She said, but this is who you need to talk to, and this is where you need to go. Right. So I did that. And that's how I got in with this other group, and they own just about every McDonald's in Huntsville and Madison, Alabama.
Okay, yeah. I mean, we've been in business a long time, but what I do, if I see a strip mall, and it's nasty, dirty, I'll start taking pictures. And if you're lucky, there's a for lease sign on that. And I actually took a picture of the for lease sign. I sent an unsolicited bid. I sent an email with all the nasty pictures and told them this is how much it was going to cost. And I got an email directly back because they were living in New Hampshire. They had no idea what was going on in Florida. And they said, I'll be down next week. Let's meet. We did the walk around. We got the job just like that. So a lot of these strip malls, they're managed by people that don't even live in the same state.
Right. I see. Another thing that I would recommend to Charles is, I know it worked with you, Anthony, leaving business cards, but if he's going to start going business to business door knocking, I personally wouldn't carry any business cards. Because the majority of the time, the manager's going to get the card, she's going to put it down on the desk, and it's just going to be
That's
thrown
what it's
away.
going to be. Yeah.
I would start asking for emails. I would ask for either the manager's email, or I would ask for her supervisor or his supervisor email, and I would do weekly emails. And then if you're not getting anywhere with that, go to every 2 to 3 days.
Yeah.
Stop by and just persistence, like basically bug them until they give you the job.
Well,
I mean, that's worked with me. Like,
seek and knock.
yeah. I mean, that's how I got all of my apartments that we do yearly. Is I just stopped by, saw the property manager, and asked for the owner's email, sent him some emails, and we've been in business with him for 3 years now. And he's got them all over Tennessee, Alabama, Georgia, everywhere.
Okay, we're
Now,
gonna
here's a question: how does your injector bypass work on your tanks?
On your tanks.
It don't work on a tank, Shannon. It you put it. Ours is on our hose reel, right by our hose reel. And what it does is you bypass the injector, so you're getting all the flow without going through the small orifice of the injector. So you're bypassing it. You're not pulling chemical, but it's soft washing with your pressure washer. So you don't have to change your nozzle, and you turn your injector, so you're bypassing it. You're getting a full flow, no chemicals, so you're getting more flow to rinse. Pretty much.
See, Trudy, another thing that I did on my latest rig, so we completely bypassed the hose reels and everything. We went to that stainless block port,
Yeah.
and we've got it directly hooked into the injector. And so you pull up however many feet you need, you disconnect from the hose reel, and then connect straight in.
I see a lot of people using that.
That's saved. That's put it definitely. It's
To me, it saves your reels. I mean, even though they're stainless, if you don't clean them out, wash them out, take care of them, I mean, even though if it's stainless, it's still after time.
Right. Well, it's not a big difference because you're only talking about like probably a foot of difference. But I've noticed even a difference between friction loss between running from, it's going to be running from 3/8 back to half, back to 3/8. And I've noticed that kind of, it's not a really big difference, but there's almost like a hesitation a little bit after you're running 300 or 400 feet.
Yeah. That's the same thing with, my husband he put a 10-gallon a minute on his machine. Then he put a 1/2-inch hose on there because he wanted more flow. And he's like, screw this. I am not pulling a 1/2-inch hose, 200 foot.
Right.
So then he went to the first half-inch, the half of it, 100 foot, and then 1/2-inch, and then he did the 3/8. And I'm looking at him, I'm going, you're coming from the hose reel, and you're going from 1/2 to 3/8, and then you're going to 1/4. What difference does it make? If you're going to end up at a 1/4 inch on your nozzles, what difference is that 100 foot, a 1/2 inch going to make? It's gonna be reduced all the way. It's just so much heavier.
When I did have a 10-gallon a minute, I did my first 100 foot after the hose reel was 1/2 inch, and then the remainder of the 200 feet was 3/8.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I've now that I've had 10 and 12 gallon a minutes, I really like an 8. Like it's just a good well round.
Yeah. Mine's rated at a 9, but it's probably not. It's supposed to be 9 at 35. I've always said the 8 at 35 is just a good balance. So I love the 8s, or mine's supposed to be a 9, but I don't think so. But I'll call it an 8. Okay, let's see who we got and any more.
When you go back to Washington, Trudy, we're gonna come down. We're gonna put 1/2-inch hoses on your trailer.
You're gonna do what?
Put 1/2-inch hoses on your trailer.
You want to damage something else in me? I mean, I've got my whole neck rebuilt. What else do you need? Okay,
Hey, we got the technology. We can fix you.
Shane's hoping
bionic
it's a
woman.
bionic neck. Okay, so Marty said they heal very slowly, the caustic burns. And Michael Shane Lowe said to start commercial, beg. Marty, you said that's exactly how he got started, I guess, the business cards. We got Chris Jansen watching, Ryan Angeloso, Greg Nelson, and more Shepherd Mayo's watching, Bradley Dunn's watching, and Delta HydroClean's watching. Hey guys, what? Okay, so he puts an injector. Same, I put an injector on my Flow Pro. Okay, Marty said that was my thought exactly. A road trip. I guess you guys got some stuff I don't know about because I'm reading and you guys are giggling. So apparently you know what he's talking about.
Well, I said we was gonna come down and put 1/2-inch hoses on your machine, on your rig.
Oh, that's it. You want the road trip? Okay, that's good because I can't be out on the rig for a while.
Yeah, you'll get back.
I will. I got to get all this metal to mix with all my whatever's in my neck. So just gotta. I don't want to. I thought I had the screw loose. Shane said he thought I had the screw loose all these years, but I didn't have any until now.
Well, you got them now.
I do. I got some nice screws up in there. And Shepherd Mayo, yes, thank you. The recovery is going well. I still can't eat anything solid, which is horrible. And then what was the next? Oh, we got Andy Seiko watching. Welcome. And Michael Shane Lowe said, Trudi Wycombe sells whip lines for people giving her a hard time. That's what they're for. I knew they had another reason.
We'll get the Trudi Mafia after them.
Yep.
Oh, did you see him? What was it? Cartel.
The cartel.
Oh no, we lost him.
Oh Lord, JT done gone.
See if he'll come back. Yeah, that was funny. I woke up this morning and I had so many notifications.
Yeah,
I was like, what happened?
That's the first thing that popped up this morning when I woke up, rolled
I don't know
over,
what happened.
and opened it up.
You called me like, what did you do? I said, I didn't do nothing.
It's too early for your shit, Trudi.
I'm like, I didn't do nothing. I'm just trying to help people out here. So Andy Seiko wants to know what caused my neck. It wasn't a fracture, just years of just overworking myself. So 16 years full time. It's been 20 years with the part time. Pulling 200 foot of hose, and I grab it and just yank all 200 foot instead of dropping it and going back and like I should have done. So there's a lot of stress and then looking up and down. A lot of our homes here are on stilts. We've got 2, 3, 4 story homes where you have to look up and then look down. So a lot of that just all my discs deteriorated. So it was bone on bone, and it was.
So that's your story. You're sticking to it, huh?
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
we won't tell them the real reason.
So
anyway, Chris wanted to talk about the panhandle surfactant versus other surfactants.
So he sent me a picture. Let me see if I can find it real quick.
Oh, before you answer that question, you said you always tell everybody buy local if you can. I bought some Leon John surfactant from Etowah here local.
Really? They sell that local?
Yeah.
I didn't know they sold that in Etowah.
Yeah, she does right up here at CNF.
Oh.
And anyway, I get it, put it on the truck. We get out washing. I take my 1/4-inch hose, my barb on the end of it, throw it over in there. When I pull it out, it's gooped up on the end of it. Like it was goop in the bottom of the bucket. Surfactant ain't supposed to be gooped up in the bottom, is it?
See if I can show. Okay, so all right, he sent this. So it's mine, and then there's another bottle of surfactant. Oh, can you see that? Okay, there's panhandled one. That is frozen solid. I thought
That's
it was
about
paint.
what was in the bottom of that 5-gallon bucket.
It was frozen. So the other surfactant was frozen. Yeah, isn't that crazy? I
I'm
got
gonna call
alcohol.
Leon and ask him if it's supposed to be gooped up in the bottom.
Ours got that moonshine and it don't freeze.
Moonshine.
I'm kidding. So anyway, so I know we got the PWMCA event going on this February. Are we in February? No, we're not in February. February. So I won't be able to make it because I'm not healed and I can't travel.
Where's it at?
In Orlando.
What I thought.
Yeah. So Jamie Schmidt, he's
You don't go, JT? JC?
Yeah, when is it?
I have to look. Get a hold of Jamie Schmidt. I haven't seen it announced a lot,
I ain't neither.
but it's in February.
Yeah.
So SC Jerry's watching, and somebody said maybe Leon's needs to be diluted. We got Ross Weimer watching. I can't even talk. Not going to say who's got the worst surfactant, but I had it, and man, it makes everything a mess. Worst windows ever. That's from Antony Curry. Somebody said, Marty said that looked like Elmer's glue.
What I thought it was glue.
I thought it was paint. I thought it was like what, paint or silly putty or something. So anyway, what else is going on? So we're doing my event. I know a lot of people asking why there's no events early. So the PWMCA has theirs in February. I think the PWNA is having theirs September in Reno.
It's too far to go.
We're still doing ours. I swear, if I was in Vegas or Reno or something, I wouldn't be at a convention. I'd be out in town. So we're doing ours the first week of November again. It's probably going to be a 3-day this time. So while we're setting up, there's going to be, I think we're getting more classrooms. They're going to be more intensive classes. The F&A group, Continental, they offered to do machine and pump repair, a rebuild class, which is going to take a few hours.
That'd
so
be a good one.
That's a good one. I know the striping, everybody's interested in the striping, but you need more than 45 minutes to go over that. So we're going to do that. Tennis court cleaning. I've got an offer for tennis court cleaning. So that's going to take more than 45 minutes. We can't put that in the circuit training. So I think we're going to have those on the Wednesday or Tuesday when we're setting up inside. We're going to have those more intensive classes going on for those guys so they can learn more and get some more education and more add-on services if they want it.
Antonio said he had a ball of pine cap bust and his whole truck smelled like pine the whole year.
Oh, one of my sample bottles. Oh, that's funny. Let me see. Oh, thank you, Ryan, for your well wishes. Yeah, we're doing good. So, we're going to have to get all our equipment put in the shops, and we've never had this cold weather for this long. Usually, it's 1 or 2 days, so we don't have to worry about it.
We're used to it. I know the 30th we got to go back out and do another restaurant. So I hope
we've got the parking garage we're doing today and tomorrow, but next week we're going to check the schedule. I'm glad I have got this stuff going on.
So you're like, I'm glad.
I'm glad because it's cold out there. I was upset about not having to do my parking garage, which I love, but now, I'm really not upset anymore. It's cold.
Hey, Trudi, you ought to keep that in your truck, and if it's another cold day, you just throw that thing on.
I know, I'm going to keep it.
I just keep it in the truck.
Yeah. Parking the handicap. No, I wouldn't do that. Okay, so Shannon Roser said, do you do the rooftops on the McDonald's?
Yes, I have. They're TPO, in which we're going to try to get somebody that does them more regular than I do on here 1 week and talk about TPO cleaning.
Yeah, we need to talk about that. Get somebody on here because I have a lot of questions about that.
I've had people call me, man, can I use bleach? Can I use caustic? But if you look on the website and you Google how to clean and what to use, it specifically tells you do not use bleach or any harsh chemicals. I mean, I know I'm going to catch backlash and my box is fixing to fill up. But it's your company. You do what you want to do.
Yeah.
I'm going to put it like that. My
I
company
will say,
is not going to do it. I mean, because
yeah.
if I go out and wash a McDonald's roof for $1,500, something happens to it, supposedly, just by chance, they have somebody come in and they test it, see what it was cleaned with, and there's a trace of bleach on there. It's coming back to me, and that $1,500 is done turned into $15,000,
Right.
and I'm gonna have to put a roof on this McDonald's.
That's
So
and that's
it's
if your
not-
insurance covers it. You
It's
might
not
be
worth it.
out of pocket.
Yep. And then if your insurance don't cover it, and then your chance you get dropped by your insurance company because you should have knew not to use this chemical on this product.
Yep.
I mean, but people do what they want to do. It's their business.
All right, got a couple questions. Antonio Curry, yes, they are calling for snow. And trust me, I will video it so I can save it because it's never going to happen again. Said, is there any surfactant that you shouldn't mix with salt hydroxide?
Any what?
Talking about sodium hydroxide.
Okay, you put salt. Okay, so is there any surfactant you should not mix with that?
I wouldn't think
I would
so.
only use Dawn.
I use Dawn. We've got some pre-soap that I picked up. I had somebody to bless me with like 15 5-gallon buckets of it a couple of years ago, and I'm still using it. I put some of it in there. I mean, but Dawn's the best thing because Dawn cuts grease too.
Right.
And then do you all shop at Northern Tool Equipment?
I
Try not to.
Yeah, I don't. I mean,
As long as Panhandle's open, I don't.
If they're, I mean, in a pinch, if I have to, but a lot of the times you can't find what you need. I've had a guy bring in a pressure washer to come for us to fix it, and none of our stuff will work with it. We can't, even the guns, we can't, get him back out there. It's like, we can't do this. So it's crazy. Okay, Michael said, yes, he meant sodium.
Hey Anthony, I do got to tell you, when I was cleaning one of Anthony's McDonald's when his rig went down, I hadn't had like a whole lot of use with the sodium hydroxide because I always or whatever he gave me. You gave me something in a bag. I guess it was sodium hydroxide, wasn't it? Just regular caustic soda beads. Man, I started mixing that stuff up because I always use an X-Jet whenever I lay down sodium hydroxide. And I went to go and do that, and man, that bucket rocked back on me, and it went all over, like straight sodium hydroxide went all over my arm.
Oh no!
And I went next to my dump valve and started rinsing. It was just slick. And then the next day, I was working at the fire station, and one of our hazmat gurus, I said, I don't know what was in that sodium hydroxide that made it so slimy. And he goes, the funny thing about that is that's not the chemical. That's the fat cells in your skin melting off. So that's what happens whenever you feel that slimy. It's actually your fat cells coming out onto your skin. And so that's another thing to keep in mind is with sodium hydroxide burns and stuff like that. If you don't,
probably the same with SH too, because that's how I test how my SH is. I don't anymore, but when we were starting, I just stick my finger in it, and I'm like, okay, it's slimy and burning. It's good.
Anthony dips his tongue in it and
Anthony. All right, so
yes, Chad. I was saying, do not use bleach on TPO roofs.
Got it. Okay, so
now, if you call the company that makes it and they say yes, you can use it, I'd get it in writing. Because if a lawyer pulls up a website that says, can you use bleach on TPO roofing, and it says absolutely in big bold letters, do not use bleach, that's what they're going to go by when they take you to court.
Yes.
Right.
So the guy we said we don't go to Northern Tool, he works there, and they said they'll do better.
Sorry, dude.
Thank you, Chad. Yeah, I feel better. I'm just bored, and I wish I could eat something except for soup, liquids. So as soon as I can eat something, I'll feel better. I feel like I'm pasty and just withering away now. But Antonio Curry said, just taste the bleach to know if it's good or not. Plus, I heard that gets rid of COVID too, doesn't it?
Good
Drinking
for
bleach.
COVID.
Hey,
I heard
I'm just saying I never got COVID while I was washing, so I'm thinking it was from me inhaling bleach for
yeah.
so long.
You
So
know, we never did. We never got it, and we were around people all the time until I think it was the 2022, my first convention, my first event.
You know,
And
I've never got COVID till then.
yeah, I didn't get it until then either. And Jared, he came to help set up, and he left. And he texted me. He said, "I'm sorry, I left without telling anybody. Felt really sick." And then after the event, I was boom.
And the
I've
fun,
got low white blood cells. When I'm sick, I'm down. I was down for like 3 weeks. Oh, yep.
and here's the funny thing about it: just about every convention she has afterwards, we're both sick.
I just broke my neck this time.
I didn't break my neck.
My neck gave out. It was literally that Thursday. All of a sudden, I'm like, my neck, shoulder right here.
We'll let you stick with the washing and pulling hoses story.
Yeah, it is. It is exactly what happened.
Mm.
Well, plus I was doing the cleaning on the weekend 17 years while I was washing. So I was working 7 days a week for 17 years without a break. So, I mean, that's, interior cleaning and the exterior cleaning, that's a lot. Those linen bags were like 50 pounds each. And then, panhandle.
And you're dragging 5-gallon buckets of soap and surfactant and stuff around the warehouse.
And this big old 300-foot of 3/4-inch hose, which I don't know why people use, but they're there. Okay, so what's your recommendation on Kim to clean a TPO roof?
There's several different options. I have used Green Ox to clean it. I've used what's his name out in California? What's the guy's name out in California, Trudi? The one that bailed on us last year? Carlos. His stuff, I've used it. There's a guy down here in Alabama that's got a citrus clean chemical. It's just, they're degreasers, and they're not caustic based, they're organic based cleaners, and it seems to work fine with me. And then I have people that send me pictures of the grease that has run over the grease traps that's on the roof, and it's melted they want to know, how do you get that up? You don't get that up unless you're going to replace that portion of the roof, because it has melted into the roof. And when you go to scrape it up, it's going to show you the membrane on the inside of the coating. So,
hey, I will say this: we cleaned now this is a couple of years back, so it was like a lot less experience, but we cleaned one of the Tyson factories in front of the chicken heating cores and stuff like that on top of the roof. It's a TPO roof, and we used Cleansol BC and downstreamed it on, let it sit for 5 minutes, and we wanded it with a M5 twist, and it come out great. So that's a safe option.
FBC goes far too, because the 1 gallon you dilute to make 5 gallons, and then you downstream.
Right.
So it goes far. 1 gallon goes far. We got Darren Newsom on here. Hey, Darren. Michael Shane Lowe said to the dude, which is Jonathan, the dude that uses X-Jet with the hydroxide, what would you charge on concrete?
All right. Depends on, so I've got 2 different prices for commercial and residential. I'm guessing he's referring to commercial, but commercial, I'm going to roughly, for flat work, I'm going to be at 25 cents a square foot. That's roughly where I'm at, 20 to 25.
damn, cuz.
What?
So you go in and you clean a service station, you're going to charge them 25 cents a square foot?
Well, no, I'm not saying service. Like service station, you're just going to, back you back down to probably 10 cents a square foot, 8 cents.
I'm finna say, if you're selling 25 cents, you're going to come out and be my salesman.
Yeah, no, I'm just like as in industrial and commercial buildings and stuff that, really
Yeah,
just
I mean,
depends on where
your
it's at.
sidewalks and strip malls. I mean, you gotta have to be a little higher because you're gonna have to make your money.
Right. That's what I'm really meaning. That's where I'm at. 25 cents is really like our factories that we've done, like grease removal and stuff, and just stuff like that. It's about 25 cents, 20 to 25.
So Michael Shane Lowe said, "Dude is cheap." Thank you, Smokey. I'm feeling better.
Dude's cheap.
Yeah.
Which dude?
You 25 cents.
I'm cheap at 25. I've been told I'm not. I don't know how many times I get told I'm the highest bidder.
Michael, how much you charge for?
I don't know. Shane
Let's
knows
see
it.
what he charges.
Oh, what he's yeah. All right, Michael Shane Lowe. What do you charge? We're waiting on
He charges $1.50 per square foot.
Yeah.
He gonna be my salesman this year.
Yeah, I know.
For real, I'm hiring him if he's able to get away with it.
Hey, I know him better than you two.
They said, "Yeah, the son."
That guy. He can be my salesperson.
I mean, I price it. I know what I gotta. I know what I got to have to survive. I know what I gotta have to make money.
Yes.
I know what I gotta have for my insurance. I know what I gotta have to pay my health. That's
And
basically
everything's
what I do. But with that being said, I can't go in here and price a gas station, clean a gas station 16,000 square feet for
Right.
25 cents a square foot because you're not going to get it because everybody's at 9-10 cents. And you go 10 cents, then you got somebody going to come in behind you and go 9 cents.
Right.
So, I mean.
And then on pricing things, there's a lot of variables. I mean, if you, he said go by the hour, $350 is what he said. But there's a lot of variables to it. If you've got 6 trucks out there and you've got 4 guys doing it at the same time, you've got, like John Tornabene, who does all the parking garages. He's got a lot of overhead on that. So that was funny. They just popped on here. Hey, Kathy. So his wife.
He's in and out in such amount of time that, I mean, it'd be like the what's that bank up here in Coleman? Is it Coleman Savings Bank up here in Coleman? Jonathan, that's got the parking deck. Yeah. If we went in there and cleaned that, say if we charged them $25,000, me and Jonathan went in there and cleaned it, and so say we got it done in a day. It's 3 levels, maybe 4 counting the top.
Yeah.
Say if it's kind of small. It ain't a big, huge parking deck.
No, you could do it in a day with 2 rigs running.
I mean, so if we done it in a day, I mean, yeah, that's good. But the thing about this is, I went and priced the house one day, and I priced the house for $750. It was a 2-story. It was vinyl house. I had to drive 45 minutes to get there, 45 minutes back. Had to tape stuff up, cover stuff up, take stuff off, put stuff back on, and everything. The guy said, "Well, how long is it going to take you?" I said, "1.5 hours, 2 hours. I ain't paying you $300-something an hour."
Right.
Yeah.
And that's another thing that and this, if anybody's new listening, this is personally why I would never ever charge by the hour on a job. Is for one, we didn't get into starting our own businesses to work by the hour.
Nope.
That's the whole start of that first. Second is that I haven't ran into it a whole bunch. I have, and believe it or not, it's some of the richest people that I've ever washed for were the ones that asked, what is that by the hour? And I told them I charge by the square foot. So, I mean, that's personally why.
Try to avoid that conversation.
Do what?
Just try to avoid that conversation.
Right. Like I said, it don't happen a lot, but if they ask me, I just tell them, like, since I own my own business, I don't charge by the hour. And so if we're here and like another counterweight, if they're going to fight you on that, just be like, okay, well then I'm going to sit here and I'm going to take my time and I'm going to take 7 hours at this house. But if you want to pay me by the hour, we can go that route too.
Yeah.
And for the new guys too, like they bid low. Have a decent minimum rate. Like, don't drive an hour to do $50 driveway.
Right.
That's the minimum charge. And if you start underbidding people, you're just devaluing the job. So next
Right.
year, what's going to happen is if, like I did a house and it was, big house on the beach, $750, then a new guy comes and does it for $350 because he's just new and he wants to get the money.
Right.
That third year, because we have to wash here every year, that third year, they're not going to want to pay what it's worth. They're going to want to pay that $350. So when we call and say, hey, yeah, we'll charge the same as we did 2 years ago. But, oh no, somebody did it for $350. Well, use them, but they didn't do a good job. Well, that's what you're paying for. So a lot of the guys, they underbid, and it just hurts the industry to devalue what we're doing, because we have the chemicals, we have the liability, we have not only liability on the property, but on our personal self. We can get hurt, we can fall off a roof, we can chemical burns, we can cut our, there's a lot that can happen to us on the job that, you need to put that in your mind when you're bidding these jobs. Don't devalue it, because it devalues everything.
And here's another thing. I went and priced a house for a lady. She went with somebody else, and she put pictures on Facebook of her house after it got washed, and you could see the wand marks in it. And they oxidized her house. I mean, and I messaged her and I said, look, I'm leaving. I'm going out of town. If you can't get these jacklegs to come back and fix their mess up, when I get back off vacation, I'll come fix your house. Won't cost you nothing, because I don't need that in my town that I live in, because everybody's going to think, well, everybody does it like that. I said, don't work like that. I try to explain to them, my customers, especially in residential, I try to tell them, look, we go to school for this. We're educated for this. We have the equipment. We do not put any pressure on your house, the least amount possible, because we don't want to ruin your house. I take care of your house just like I take care of mine.
Yeah.
I don't want to hurt it. And, I got an old lady in Arab. I wash her house every year. Do not use bleach on her house. Do not use bleach on her house. She thinks that, but it's a little bit. And it's covered up. It's not enough to hurt and everything, but
All right. So Michael Shane Lowe, he said, let me clarify something. Actually, charged by the job, but when I divide it by time on the job site, we want it to be right at $3.50 an hour. So when he does, so what?
I can see that. If he's looking at logistics and stuff like that, that's different. But yeah, I get that.
Okay, so yes, Chad Hupp said yes, in Louisville, Kentucky, market is getting cut up. Bumpy startups and rolling suds and a couple of others. I'm not sure what that is. So Ted Drescher's watching. Milan Fortner's watching. Hello, guys. Anybody else? Justin Greenberg, Marius Codrino. I'm going to mess that one up too. F-Bomb Power Washing should just say their first name. F-Bomb Power Washing is here. And Antonio Curry's still here. Oh, no, he was already here. And Kathy Downs Tornabandi's here. So, hey, guys, thank you for joining us. It's about Ted Drescher's here too. It's about time for us to go. We're a little bit over, but before we go, new guys, what chemicals, not specialty chemicals, just if you go to a residential house, what chemicals do you guys keep on your truck? Go ahead, Anthony.
SH, just residential, just downstream it or use my AR-45, probably about a 1.5. Depends on how dirty it is. First thing I usually do if they're going to do the driveway, I pre-treat the driveway if it's really bad. And that way it has time, it's soaking, it's doing what it's supposed to do. Run around the house. Say my house we live in now is probably, what do you say, 2,000, 2,500 square foot, Jonathan?
I'd say about 2,500.
With the AR, you looking probably 30 minutes, maybe if that long to wash it, and then you come back and hit the driveway. Tape everything up. I mean, get your outlets and everything. Out on a job, went and washed the house about a month ago, had some cameras on it. I've been to the schooling. I've heard the horror stories, done a rookie mistake myself, didn't cover the cameras up, didn't even hit the camera. Mess got on the camera, messed it up. $650 house wash cost me $400 for a camera. So time I paid my help, paid for gas, guess what Anthony made?
Yep.
Zero. So
hey, back to what you were saying about plugging outlets. I got, so this was last year, and I was watching just a normal house doing my normal thing, and I always had the philosophy of, oh, it ain't gonna happen to me because it ain't happened in the past 6 years that I've been washing houses. I've never blew an outlet or whatever. And they had one. They weren't GFI plugs on the outside, and I I threw a good coat of SH on that thing. I turned back around, and the part of the house is on fire.
Oh no!
I'm not even joking.
Oh no!
I nearly pissed myself. I saw just nothing but smoke and then flames, and I'm like, I'd be damned. There's on the news, it's going to say a fireman burn a house down. So,
at least you're a fireman. You knew what to do.
well, luckily, I had already switched from bleach to water, and so I sat there and knocked it out, and then pulled the outlet out of the house, out of the side of the vinyl, and sprayed up there in the vinyl. And then I told her, I told the homeowner, and she acted like it was her fault. So she was gone. Well, she was gone 2 hours away, and I said, "Hey," I said, "before I leave, I said I don't like the power still being cut on." So she let me break into her house with a credit card to go cut her breaker off at her house.
So we had one. We went to wash a house, and it was like we got home end of the night, had showers, sitting there, and the lady called, and we got accused of damaging the power. The only thing is you did it. So we had an electrician go out there, and he couldn't find nothing with their house. And so she called somebody out there, and it ended up being squirrels had chewed up. And it just was a coincidence. It wasn't anything we did. It was not even close to the house, but they followed the line, and squirrels on the pole line, where that was chewing on that plastic. And it finally got through, and it was just like so coincidental. And I'm just like, oh my gosh, we've never done this before. That's crazy. All right, wow. So let's see. Oh, wait. So what chemicals do you carry like on your rig at all times, just for residential use?
Oh, just all the time. Well, we got F9 product on there. We've got bleach. Got I don't know. There's several different ones on there. I can't remember what all Mylan's got on that truck. He usually keeps it loaded down.
So
I'm trying to get off the truck. So I mean,
just break your neck. You'll be fine.
That's what I pay folks for. Ain't that right, Jonathan?
Yep.
So Jonathan, what do you have on your truck for residential?
Obviously, I'm not even going to list SH because that's kind of given. I keep at all times. I make sure I've got 2 gallons of One Restore, 2 gallons of EBC, Cleansol BC. I've got a couple F9 products, just like little here and there. I've got, I think all I've got is F9 bark, and I think that's it right now on the rig. And then my sodium hydroxide, I've got a couple bags of them made and put into a 5-gallon bucket, sealed off. That's it. I mean,
so our residential, what we have at all times is obviously SH. We have our surfactant, which is already in the SH, so we don't used to carry it because we fill up here. And we have a good degreaser, and we also have an iron remover because we get a lot of that iron stain from well water. And then we always carry a neutralizer with us also. So that's what we carry on for our residential in a degreaser and a neutralizer. We have from when we get specialty jobs, obviously we have those chemicals when we learn, but when you're first going out, guy, brand new trailer, brand new thing,
Right.
that's what I tell them to carry. Is just they don't want to overload a bunch of chemicals because they might not even run into that stain for years. You know, they might not run into an oxidized house or, you know, something they need for that.
Yeah. Honestly, if somebody's starting out, like I can only think of three things that you really need to keep is just SH, a surfactant, and a good degreaser. I mean, other than that, you know, it would be considered a specialty job anyway.
And probably some red clay remover stuff.
Yeah, I do agree with that.
Yeah, we don't have red
really,
clay down here. We got
really
sand.
down here. I mean, all the construction and stuff going on in our area, man, especially up in Huntsville area and stuff. I mean, if you're up that way working, dude, around it, it'd be great one to have 55-gallon jug in your arsenal.
We've had that when we go and do them new construction subdivisions, when it's the sidewalks, driveways, and it's basically like you're just running down an assembly line.
Okay, so we got some. Justin said, cut off the top of milk jugs when they're done. When you're done drinking milk, then they slide right over the cameras. It's a lot quicker than taping them off.
I didn't think about that.
The dude that did our preventive maintenance, was that what it was that at the show, Trudi?
Which one?
Last year? Was
Kyle?
it the preventive maintenance? No. It was inside teaching class. Right before we went up, what's his name?
Oh,
I'm at a loss. This year?
the last event that we were all at.
Oh, okay. So we had, Joe Shuttle.
Yeah, I think it was him. No,
not Shuttle.
Joe was the one from the pod thing, right?
Yeah.
No, not him. He's the one that did the tough, like, prevent stuff on job sites, like covering up pumps, covering up the cameras,
Right.
ceiling fans.
Yeah, that was why is my brain going?
I can't remember.
But anyway, he had a good thing for ceiling fans. Now he took a plastic garbage can lid and cut it out somehow and put it up over the
I gotta find it.
top of the ceiling fan. That was pretty cool too.
Jeremiah Jarrell just came to me.
Jeremiah.
Thank you. I know I was gonna get it. It was driving me nuts. We both have pointers. Okay, so do you guys charge extra money for wrapping up cameras and floodlights? Or do you just put that into your bid?
Just add it in. I mean, you know how long it's going to take you to do it. I mean,
What was the question?
if you got
If you
taping
charge
up,
extra for taping
covering
everything
stuff up, do you
covering up
charge extra?
property protection? I say you put that in your bid.
Yeah, it's kind of already just included in mine because that's already assumed. Like with our company that we're going to take the full measure.
Yep.
It just
So
takes
it's already
property.
off to you.
Right.
I mean, that's what I tell them. It's like, I mean, we taped up the outlets and stuff, even though this is a brand new house, the one that we blew the camera out of. Brand new house, had GFI plugs on it and everything. They had the covers on it, but still, I didn't want to take that chance. And I didn't do the cameras because some of the cameras was 30 foot up on the side of a bluff. So I should have not even took the job for that price, but I did. So it cost them in the long run. But we did tape them up. I just tell my customer, look, we're going to do this. This is what we're going to do. First thing we're going to do, we get here, we're going to hook up our water source. We're going to start taping stuff, covering stuff up, moving stuff off the porches if we have to move stuff off the porches. When we leave, everything will be done, untape, put back, and this is what you get charged for.
Yes, right. Ryan, it is one restore is good on the red clay. Okay, go ahead, Jonathan. Sorry to cut you off.
Do what?
I cut you off while I was answering a question.
I had a memory. And Anthony, you remember the courthouse?
When that plug started smoking,
Yeah,
Oh my gosh.
yeah,
I'm seeing a pattern here.
yeah.
they
It's
called
the
me
two
up to have
troublemakers.
them wash this courthouse, and I mean, we're just hammering down. I mean, I'm
We're
just throwing stuff and cleaning.
6% all over the place.
I mean, it was thick stuff. I mean, I had it. It was turned up. We was
We,
just
hey, but
sucking bleach out of the tank, passing
Trudy,
water.
when we were first washing it, man, we wasn't making a dent. Like it was, it's that old. It's not. It's like it was a combination of concrete and drive-it.
Yeah.
So that's the whole surface of that whole courthouse. But it's like the concrete ledges and stuff. You couldn't, no matter how even thick your surfactant was, it would not stay on long enough to
Oh,
even hit the ledges. So we were throwing it hot, and next thing you know, me and Anthony are sitting there next to him. We hear pop, 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 and
I told him, I said, you better call your firefighter buddies because we figured to
yeah.
need them.
Needless to say, we got out the duct tape and after that and patched it up a little bit.
Well, that was my first plug that I ever smoked right there out of the whole
That
time
makes that makes
I've
that
been in
makes two
business.
for me now.
And after that, and then after, I mean, we see pictures all the time, people putting on Facebook and stuff. But I mean, I didn't think much about it then, but if I was paying somebody, I wouldn't want them to come in and burn my house down for a
Right.
caustic humidity.
Maybe it's different here because we get like the hurricanes and we get a lot of the water that's going to come. Maybe it's different because we have never, ever, we don't even tape. Our outlets have all got covers on them. We don't tape anything. I mean, we do like TVs or whatever. We put the tarps on them, but
Right.
outlets and stuff, we've never in 20 years had anything smoke. So maybe we're just, they're made, or the different standards of the building here because we are right here where there's hurricanes, I guess.
I will say this to people doing not new construction, commercial buildings. It's in our case, that was when me and Anthony were teaming up on it, was a government building, but um, always check and see if they've got the GFI plugs.
Yeah.
That's another huge thing, is make sure they've got GFI plugs.
Yeah, but
Some-
you gonna trust them?
Well, I'm just saying, like, if it at least give you a little bit of like, still, I'm not saying like if they do, like, don't tape them up. You still
Yeah.
tape them up, but at least if they're not or they don't know, at least take a little bit of precaution, take a little bit more time to watch it after you've
Yeah.
thrown on some chemical on the house.
Let me see
But-
what we got. Okay, F-bomb, it's saying, and Dawn dish soap has organic ammonia C10 through C16. I can't even say that word, which is an ammonia-based product, and it will react to bleach or SH at any mix ratio. Yeah, that's what I've been telling everybody. I guess there's one Dawn that you can put in, but I'm not going to risk a mushroom
No,
gas at the I would say like you're in the industry of pressure washing. That is what you do. You want to be professional and use the right equipment. If you go into your doctor's office and you see a bottle of chloroform and a pair of pliers, you're going to think, oh my gosh, I'm not staying here. So every industry has to use the right equipment for the job. It doesn't have to be expensive equipment. You can have amazing equipment with a 4-gallon minute machine and just be professional with that. So it's just making sure you write the right chemicals and know which chemicals you can't mix. Because I know one time I was working with Shane and I was treating all the iron stains. So there I'm on there with my clear pink stuff. I'm spraying, and he had came from the backside and sprayed, and I didn't know he had downstreamed that yet. So when I came around the corner, I put on the pink stuff. I coughed for 20 minutes straight. It went right to my lungs. I almost died just from 1% and just spraying, that acid on there. I learned quick. That's not what you do. That was my lesson. But you got to know the chemicals and you got to know what you're doing because there is a lot of liabilities. There a lot of you can get hurt, you can damage a lot of properties, you can change houses, you can start a fire. There's a lot of things into this that new guys don't think about because they don't know. So, all right, so we are 24 minutes past
Hour and 24 minutes in.
So you guys want to say goodbye, and then we will be here Thursday next week again, me and Anthony, with another person.
Yeah, we'll find somebody. We'll see if we can't get Shane on here.
Yeah.
What life is like living with Trudi.
Oh, he's been amazing. I've been on the couch. He's been bringing me water, food. I can't do anything but walk with this until it's healed. So I can't bend, I can't lift, I can't twist. He's been doing all the cooking, the laundry. He's been working all day, and now he knows what it feels like to be me. So he's getting my life now. But anyway, Jonathan, you want to close out and say anything to everybody?
I'm sure. It was nice being on here, and if anybody listening, if they have any questions or whatever, you can either go to my Facebook profile, Jonathan Crumpton, or you can go to my business page, or it's RedLine ProClean LLC. Or if you have any other questions, feel free to go with Trudi or Anthony. They're both really, really great, very, very experienced. So
Well, thank you.
that's pretty much it. And I enjoyed it, guys.
Well, awesome. Well, thank you for joining us. And me and Anthony's going to be doing this every week. So I'm excited and get new people here. People can learn, and we can just talk shop, I guess. All right. Well, everybody have a good night. Say good night, Anthony.
Good night, Anthony. Oh, good night, everybody.
Take care.
See y'all.
See y'all.